Hi. Hi, everybody. So, today is part two. I'm really excited to bring this to you. And today you are getting me like real raw, no makeup. It's a super busy day, so I am just getting my work done and getting everything I need to get done while I'm still in my PJs. So, anyways, throughout the series, you're going to see me. You're going to see me with makeup on. You're going to see me with my workout clothes on. You're going to see me with my PJs on and my glasses and all that kind of fun stuff. So thank you for being here. What we're going to talk about today is what it takes to prep for weight loss surgery. And what as I had said in part one yesterday, the weight loss surgery that I chose to have was gastric bypass, which is also known as Roux-en-Y. Which actually, this brings up a good point. You generally, if you're having some sort of surgery or whatever, we tend to, especially now with Google, not that we didn't have that then, but, I mean, we tend to do a lot of, we do a lot of research on, what we're going to do and what the surgery is about and all that. And I did tons and tons of research. But 11 years later, I am still learning. I'm still learning. I'm still learning so much. And one of the things that I learned was this Roux-en-Y. Like, I didn't even know what that was. When I was actually at the doctor's last week, I had to go to the ER. I had some stuff going on with my my insides, and which I'll get to too, because that is also part of this. But he said, "Did you have, which gastric bypass did you have?" And I was like, "I had gastric bypass." And he said, "Did you have Roux-en-Y?" I'm like, "I have no idea, but could you find out if that's what I had? Because it would be kind of cool to know." So, the learning and all that doesn't stop when you have the surgery. It doesn't stop after the surgery. And it doesn't stop when you lose your weight. You are constantly, constantly learning. So, if this is something that you're thinking about doing, just put yourself on, learning mode for the rest of your life. If this is something that you've done and you haven't done, a ton of research, or, that there's still things you want to learn about it, put yourself on learning mode. Something that just came up for me last week was I ended up having I had some food get stuck in my tubes, which was interesting. So what that meant was that, where they include, oh, sorry, um, where they reattach the bowel and the small intestine when they do the gastric bypass, that usually expands and contracts, allowing things to pass. And when you have gastric bypass, that's not the case anymore. So mine doesn't do that. I have not had a single problem in 11 years. And last week on my 11-year anniversary, I ended up having an issue. So what that got me present to was that, I wasn't paying attention when I was chewing my food, which, the more I thought about it, and with all the people that I coach, like, chewing your food is something that we should be doing anyways. And what I've also realized is, now that I have to spend more time and I'm present to that, and, chewing my food is, it tastes so much better. You really get the full flavor of what the food is. So, anyways, that's kind of been going on, and it's flaring up again this week. So I talked to the doctor today, and I'm gonna be taking some omeprazole and that kind of thing just to get through the weekend, and we'll see what comes of Monday. So don't ever think that that like I said, it's over once a surgery's over. And if you have had gastric bypass or weight loss surgery, pay attention to your body. Our bodies work differently, and your body is the best source of telling you that something's wrong. So pay attention. Don't let it slide. Things can get really dangerous. If that piece of food stayed stuck, this stuff, it could be pretty bad. So I was really lucky, and staying on top of it, staying on top of your doctor's appointments, that is super important too. So, okay, so prepping 1 year. What you have to do. This took about a year from the time I decided to do it to the time that I had it done was about a year. First thing I had to do was go through my primary care, and you have to get approval from your primary care. And when you get approval from your primary care, then you can get a referral to a bariatric surgeon. And there's lots of awesome places around. There's lots of awesome doctors. I went to Newton Wellesley, had Dr. Gazmuri, and he has since retired. So, but his practice, his group, they were all amazing. So I still go there. And your BMI, like I had mentioned yesterday, you have to have a certain BMI to reach, and mine was 44. So I hit that criteria. Um, and then, once you make that first initial appointment with the doctor, you have an appointment, which is, if I remember correctly, it was like a 4-hour appointment. And I was like, 4 hours? Like, seriously, what are we going to do for 4 hours? So, that 4 hours consisted of meeting with a therapist, which I will get into all of that, the emotions, the feelings, the insecurities, like all the ups and downs. It's such a roller coaster. I'll do that in another part of the series. But you meet with a therapist, you meet with a nutrition, you meet with the doctor, you meet with the nurse, and you do a before picture. So that was scary, and it was a lot of stuff that they talked about, like I had expected some of the stuff because of the research that I did, but there was some stuff that I didn't really expect. And my husband, John, he came with me. And one of the things that the doctor had asked him, which I hadn't even thought about, and neither did he, is, you know, your wife's been heavy for a long time. I mean, I was pretty much heavy for most of our marriage after we had kids. And, the doctor said, how are you going to be once she loses weight? And what if, you're walking somewhere or you're somewhere and, guys are paying attention, like that whole world, like I didn't even think of. And of course, John's amazing. And he was just like, cool, it's fine, whatever. Like, I know where she is and it's all good and whatever. So that's kind of another side of it, which you don't think of. And, we tend to think about how this is going to affect us and how we're going to deal with it. And a lot of times we don't think about how it's going to affect the people in our world, which I will get to in another part of this series. So yeah, so that was a long meeting with the doctor, but it was a great way to get related and all that with them. So I really felt like I made a great connection with them. And the nurse that I first saw, Renee, she was amazing. And I actually talked to her today, and I love them. So get related with your doctor and, feel comfortable. What they gave us at that appointment is the next thing that I'm going to tell you about is a notebook. And I remember the color, and I probably still have it. But what this notebook is for you to keep track of everything. You literally have to track everything up until your surgery date. They put you on a schedule of, like, they want to see that you can, really get your mindset to losing some weight on your own. So, they set you up to lose so much weight depending on the person. And, because like I've said before, this surgery is not a quick fix. This surgery, the beginning of it, yes, you'll lose weight effortlessly. Not all of it, you'll lose some of it. But if you're not willing to change your lifestyle and change the things that you're doing that are not working, then it's not going to work. And it's a pretty abrasive thing to go through to not make those changes. So you have to change that. You have to go to support meetings. I had to go an hour and 20 minutes away from home up to Newton Wellesley. We live on Cape Cod, for those of you that don't know us. And we had to bring our notebooks and we had to take notes. There was a different speaker at every meeting, and we had to have our notebooks signed. So there's a very high level of commitment and responsibility that you had to take on, at least for the office that I went to, that really takes you through this whole journey and gets you off started. And they're not looking for you to do this for a quick fix, so they need to be assured too that you're in this for the right reasons and that you're fully committed. So there's a lot of risks that go along with that, and that you can literally just search online. But there are risks that can happen that are out of your control. So the best advice that I can give you is, don't up those risks by not taking action with yourself. Don't up those risks by not changing your lifestyle. Don't up those risks by staying in the same behaviors, keeping the same lifestyle that you're having. Because if you're in a situation that you're looking at weight loss surgery, then you're in a place in your life that isn't working, and that's where I was at. And, I had to get my mindset right, and I had to be fully committed to making those changes, and I did, and that's why it's working. And maybe that's why I haven't had issues, I'm sure. When I went to those meetings, there were people that were on oxygen machines. There were people there that were there looking to have the surgery for the second or third time. And, I remember, like I said, it's so abrasive, and it is not something that I would ever want to go through again. So to think that people, are at that point again in their life that they have to do it again, it's just, it's sad and it's scary. And, my whole point of doing this series is to, maybe if one person that's considering it, really takes to heart what I say, and, and I get to, help them and help them in a way to understand what it really is before they get into it, if they're not getting the full sense of what it is, maybe help them be successful too. So, definitely please feel free to share everything that I'm putting out there, and don't ever hesitate to give my name to somebody. And, I'm always willing to help. This is my passion. And now I love to share whatever I learned. And I had talked about before, how it can affect the people around you. So, you want to make sure that you're really in tune with your relationships with the people around you too, because you're going to need support, and you're going to want them to be there. And, one other thing that you really had to pay attention to before you went in for surgery was, having everything prepared for when you come home. You literally have to go on a sugar-free, no sugar added diet. And, I didn't realize, because I wasn't really paying attention. I mean, I gave my kids Whole Foods and all that stuff, but I would buy applesauce and just think that applesauce was applesauce and that was good. But they actually have no sugar added applesauce. That's when I really started to check the labels of what I was eating. And do you have any idea how much sugar is in bread? Yeah, so it's a really big wake up call. And, if you're doing this, definitely pay attention to labels, but, take yourself out of the mindset of that you're just doing it till you hit your goal, till you hit your weight loss goal. Because if that's the mentality that you have, and that's the mentality that you go with, once you get to that goal and go back to your old ways, you're going to find yourself right back where you were before. And I promise you that. And there are also, you can have weight loss surgery and be successful in your weight loss, but not be successful in your health. So that makes a really big difference. And I will get into nutrition and, food and, what I ate before and what I ate now. I'll do that in another part of this series as well. So I just wanted to fill you guys in, and, what happens the first year of surgery, and, what goes into making that decision. It's not just a phone call. You got to get lots of people to approve it. You got to get lots of support around you, and you have to make sure that you're committed. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in and checking it out. And like I said, share away. My mission is to help whoever I can get through this, or get back to where they want to be, or, just feel comfortable in their skin and feel comfortable in their decisions. So have a great day, everybody. Peace out, and I will catch you tomorrow.